Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Afternoon FM. Today, I have the Calm King Cause in the building.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna sit here, we're gonna talk, we're gonna learn a little bit about this man. Thank you for graciously joining me today, brother.
Appreciate you. Glad to be here, man.
Been picking this man's brain for like maybe the past hour right now, man.
Yeah, we've been chilling. It's dope over here.
Yeah, bro. Out here at Phenotype Stages in the Prototype Paterson building. But yeah, we're about to get into this man's life, his music, his journey.
Let's do it.
His experiences, bro. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, bro. So what's going on, bro? How's your day so far?
Man, I'm good. I'm glad to be here, you know, putting some good energy out there, giving and receiving some good energy. Got to meet everybody around here. Yeah. A lot of talented people in this place. We got a lot of mutual people we know in common and stuff like that. So it's always dope, man. You know, I always like to see people coming from the local area that's doing something different, adding something positive, artistic. And you know that's always gonna be something positive within the community and shit.
Yeah, man. I was listening to your music. It's like it's really positive. It's even Mar was telling me about it. It was like you're really like trying to like uplift in it too. It's kind of like it's conscious rap. Would you define yourself as a conscious rapper?
I'm not against that. I would say that's something I could see people saying. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not limited to that, but. When we talk about growing up what people call conscious rap, it was like a lot of the people that I was fucking with. Yeah, Kweli, Mos, Kanye, Common, even like Pharoah Monch, whoever you want to put in there.
Shit, I heard Pharoah Monch and mad.
The Roots, you know?
Yeah.
And then that could tie in with Neo Soul too, which was a big influence of mine.
Big Soulquarian fan?
Yeah, of course. Common was a huge influence of mine, Kanye.
What's your favorite Common album?
I would say B.
Yeah, bro. It's beautiful.
B is perfect.
Yeah.
But Like Water for Chocolate is super duper crazy.
Yeah.
That's another one that has some of my favorite songs from Common.
What was the one after he started fucking Erykah Badu? That was like something.
Electric Circus.
Yeah, Electric Circus. Yeah.
But that has some sleepers on it because a lot of people slept on the whole album.
Well, really?
Yeah, because they said
I never heard it, but you know.
Yeah, people said he was getting too out there.
Well, that's the thing about Erykah Badu's pussy.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I've heard.
It's amazing.
That's why on B on one of the songs he said. They said the crochet pants and the sweater was whack. Heard the corner and they said that brother's back. Yeah. Because people was really like, damn. And he was really experimenting musically on Electric Circus. Yeah. So that was the big thing. Like when Common would do like an experimental album, like the other one was the one he had with Pharrell. Yeah. Some people didn't like that one.
Oh, the one after fucking Finding Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that one happened. I was like,
that's the one that had that. Is this that new shit? Kim standing in line.
Like Drake, bro.
Was that around that time?
That was the one, or if it was.
Oh no, that was around the Dreamer Believer era.
The one with Nas.
Yeah, Ghetto Dreams.
Yeah.
That was that era. Crazy, yeah. But yeah, Common, he was a big ass influence on me. That album B, especially being huge on Kanye, and then they team up to make like a perfect album.
I feel that's like people sleep on those 3 albums for Kanye, man, because like everybody's like, oh, Graduation, fucking My Beautiful. Nah, man, fucking John Legend, John Legend's album, Common's album, and Kanye's album. That was like the trilogy of like, this is the greatest production in like the past like 25 years. Actually, fucking most of hip hop, honestly. And I'm not even knocking anybody, but that was just like. It was just so different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the good music era, the early good music era, like that Grammy family era.
Consequence too, bro. Don't quit your day jobs. A classic.
And Cudi, I feel like now Cudi, we don't put him as much with good music because he got off of it at one point. But that was all a big part of it, because even when you think about the Good Fridays, them Cudi hooks and the songs that, you know, Kanye and Cudi was collaborating on all the time was like, most people was fans of both of them. So when they did shit together, you know, it was fire. And, you know, Common was in there, like you said, John Legend. Real heads know about Rhyme Fest. He wasn't on good music, but you know.
Yeah, bro. His album too. What was the fucking shit? This shit was
the Blue Collar.
Blue Collar with the fucking
Sister.
Yes, yeah.
There was a lot of great songs on there. That was one of them.
The one with ODB, the Build Me Up.
Yeah, Build Me Up, Baby. Yeah, Rhyme Fest was a beast, man.
Yeah,
it's funny when it came out that
that he was like the ghostwriter for a lot of shit.
Yeah, it made sense because I feel like when we were coming up, nobody really, you didn't look for is somebody having a ghostwriter because it was expected really that nobody really did, and if they did, you knew about it, like Dr. Dre, Puffy,
and
you knew about it. You feel me? But with Rhyme Fest, I remember thinking, yo, these Chicago dudes are nice. He sound just like Kanye, like.
Yeah.
But then when it turns out he was writing some of Ye's stuff, we don't really know to what extent. But I just laugh when I look back because I remember thinking like, damn, they both like sound like each other and stuff. But Rhyme Fest super nice.
Sahi the Prince is just.
Sahai. Yeah, I met Sahai.
You met him. I
once was in. I don't know if you ever heard of Team Backpack. It was these competitions they used to do in Cali and New York. And if you ever heard of Ren Thomas, he's from Jersey. He won one of them. But they would always have the tournaments where basically everyone would just spit a cappella verses and whoever like the crowd liked the most would win or whatever. And it would be a tournament, but they would have guys like Ghostface come perform. Sahai came, so that's why I met him backstage or whatever. And I remember I told him like, yo, you mad underrated, but again, this was before it came out that he was writing a lot of stuff for people. So he just kind of chuckled because he knew, you know, obviously what I didn't know. Yeah. Because that was right before everybody started knowing that he wrote for Ye and Travis and all these people like Sicko Mode.
Shout out to Mad Skills too.
Word. That was, I don't know how that correlates, but that's a crazy.
Mad Skills is just always like he's like your favorite.
I didn't even think about the ghostwriting thing. Shout out Virginia. Yeah, Skills. I remember when he had the song Ghostwriter. Yeah.
06 in the wrap ups, bro.
Yeah.
I think he's still doing it. I remember the 06.
I think he is, bro.
No,
I think he is still doing them. But yeah, when he put out the song Ghostwriter, but he had the names blocked out, so you didn't really know who he was talking about.
Oh,
but
no
then,
way.
What, you found the last one?
Up. Oh no, his Uncle Murder took over the fucking.
Yeah, he did take it over, but I don't know if Skills stopped or not.
2020 wrap up. Damn, bro. I remember the 06 wrap up.
Yeah.
When he was talking about how Jay-Z fucking was doing Lost One. Where is it?
Skills was kind of in that, especially on his second album. He was in that conscious like backpack wave too, like.
Yeah, with the Mad Rapper or some shit, I think. Or no, was it the Mad Rapper? I don't know. I could be.
There was a dude named Mad Rapper. That's who was with Bad Boy and shit. Wow, yeah,
this was
you
on
hit
my iPod in like the 8th grade. Holy
crazy.
Shit, bro. But enough about Mad Skills and all these ghost rappers, bro. Tell me about your musical journey, bro.
Man.
Where you coming from, bro?
Man, where do we start with my musical journey? It's been a long journey, man. I was kind of started dabbling with rap when, from 8 to 12 years old. Really, at 12 years old, I started writing on paper, like verses and shit.
You remember your first verse?
I remember something old from that time. It was like
we gotta taste of this, bro. I'll show you.
It was like
show me yours. I'll show you mine.
Yeah. I think I was 12 or something when I wrote this. I was like, I got the juice. I'm like Zeus, lyrically immortal. I'm like a man possessed, creeping through hell's portal. I'm a talker, legend like the Midnight Walker, and want fans to follow my music like a stalker. No, I had some shit. I think before that it was this is how it started. Emergency, I think I'll need surgery. Because nowadays I think somebody's trying to murder me. Because I'm hot like Big and Pop. That's it right there. Life's but a dream, but sometimes it's a nightmare. I got the juice. I'm like Zeus, lyrically immortal. I'm like a man possessed, creeping through it. I'm
12 years old saying I'm thinking somebody's trying to murder me.
Now I was just saying some hot shit though. I was just being lyrical. But I said I got the juice. I'm like Zeus, lyrically immortal. I'm like a man possessed, creeping through hell's portal. I'm a talker, legend like the Midnight Walker, and want fans to follow my music like a stalker. I wrote that at 12 years old, my people. So that should say a lot.
That deep though?
Not at that time, nah. It had to get there, yeah. Yeah, that was like 12 years old. I wrote that, but I started to kind of like find ways to record myself at like probably around, who knows, 15, 16.
Were you using FL Studio or you?
Not even, bro. I was on some bull. I'm like a little ass kid, and you gotta think I'm born in '90, so when I'm 14 it's 2004. So that nobody really knew about none of this shit. I'm like a little kid for real. Right. So I just found this white skinny computer mic that used to come with certain like windows and shit. And I started using that shit, and I used to literally use the only thing that I knew, which was sound recorder. Remember, it recorded for 60 seconds and it stopped. Yeah. And I would play the beat loud in the background. Yeah. And I'll rap for a minute, and then it would stop, and I'll put the beat back to the right part, and I'll press for another 60 seconds and rhyme, and I'll have like my boys spitting with me, and like that's the only thing I knew how to do. Like, so
some
then
people had Pro Tools. This man had no tools, karaoke machines.
Nah, man. This was then of course, when you start going to real studios, which I probably went to my first real studio at like 16.
How'd that feel?
It was good, man, and you hear everyone talking about Pro Tools, and actually my first ever studio session was actually in Trenton.
Really?
Because I linked because I didn't know nobody again, like, you feel me? Times are different now people are exposed to so much. This was like, it wasn't that common to know about Pro Tools in like '06, you know, as a kid in like high school or whatever, you feel me? Like, you didn't know as many people at that time that was making beats, or when you found somebody, it was like fire, because it wasn't as much as rampant as it is now, you feel me? Like, maybe rapping, but all the technical shit, you had to know certain people. And I remember I didn't know nobody, and this producer was hitting me on MySpace. And I'm just like, man, I
miss MySpace.
Yeah, so I went down there and shit, and it felt big, man, because, I never was in like a real studio. But then, of course, I started meeting more people locally, and that's actually around the time I met Fusion, Nova, Billy Prempe,
Oh, what? Billy Prempe raps?
He didn't rap, but he used to try to like manage them and stuff.
No way.
I don't know exactly.
I got him coming on the podcast soon, bro.
Okay.
It's a very polarizing figure. Shout out to Billy Prempe.
We were like probably like 16, so we all met each other around that time.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, but
what do you think about his congressional run?
I don't know much about it, to be honest with you.
All I know, man, is that Billy be gotten up more than most graffiti artists, bro.
Nah, facts. Because look, you see this man all over. First of all over Paterson, every hood. Then you'll be in like
KAV Crew. There's Illusion. Fucking like shout out to Sinus.
Remember? Oh yeah, I seen Chomp. MK Ultra.
And then there's
MK Ultra was everywhere.
MK Ultra, and then Billy Prempe.
Yeah.
Who's not hiding his name at all. He's just got stickers.
But be somewhere like random. You'll be in like Hackensack or some shit and see Billy's sticker and shit.
Bro, he's in the I was showing this guy the American Fried Chicken to the listener. I was showing him the American Fried Chicken thing. Dude, Billy's sticker is in the video.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. I think he lives around there.
Which is crazy because who is like, how are you gonna sway a voter when you're just buying chicken? You know what I mean? Like fucking like.
Yeah, man. Shout out to him. He goes super hard. His
It's crazy.
I'm in my barber shop and I look out the window and I see his stickers on the like street sign and shit. Shit is everywhere.
Billy be getting up.
But long story short, man, I feel like it really didn't really start until like after high school. Like I was building up the whole time. Like I didn't even rap to a beat until I was like 14, 15, I used to just write rhymes to nothing. Cause you didn't have no beats. The fuck you gonna rap to?
Yeah.
Then it started to be where you could download instrumentals on LimeWire or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, and then there was SoundClick. Now you could meet people online like with beats, but it's a whole thing, man. But
Yeah, it's been so weird. The musical journey is so crazy, bro.
yeah. So after high school, I started doing shows for real, like at like 20 years old, and I was doing shows like the Armory Tavern in Newark, where they used to have this thing called Garden Variety. And there would be, that's where I met Elder Sensei from the Artifacts, R.I.P.
Really?
Tame One. Yeah. They said,
Peace. I think it was Tame One.
yeah, Tame One passed recently.
I remember Artifacts because when I was young, I used to do graffiti. Artifacts.
Oh,
Raw
shit,
Side of
yeah.
the Tracks was like the fucking.
That's the anthem for graffiti
Yeah, bro.
and hip hop. I mean, that's their biggest song, I think. And I remember this kid I used to chill with. He moved here from Queens, and he had that on his iPod. And I'm like, yo, how you know about these dudes? Like, these some Jersey guys. And he was like, man, he's like, yo, I tag. And I'm like, word. So that's why, since I wasn't in it, I didn't realize that they were saying all these graffiti slangs and things that I had no idea what they even meant until I was meeting a lot of kids really from New York. That's when I learned like bombing and like toy and putting the crossing the name out, like shit like that. That's how when I could listen to like Artifacts and know what, like, some whack crook stole my black book. I know who took it. Like, I know about the black book, you feel me? But that's when I learned about all that shit. But yeah, those first shows were amazing. And then I put out the mixtape Truth Hurts, and then I started doing this duo thing with a guy named Knowledge. Now he goes by Noble. He lives in Florida now, but he was another local artist, and we did 2 projects, Jersey Shore EP, because that's when Jersey Shore was popping, and we wanted to put our spin on it to where when you get our product, it's totally different than Jersey Shore. But that's what it came from, a conversation that my boy from Queens said. That's what everyone thinks of New Jersey at that point. Post Sopranos, now we in the Jersey Shore era, but at that time not no more. But so we did that, and we did an album called Discovery, and that's what really started getting us popping off a lot. We had a song with Big Rube, who's on my current project I have out now. Big Rube from Dungeon Family, you know, with Outkast and Goody Mob and all them. He does all the spoken word. He's on Liberation, 13th Floor, on AT Alien. He's on like all that Dungeon Family albums.
What was your process going through the first album? Like, what were like the themes and shit you were trying to like tackle? Or where were you at like mentally at the time too? Like what?
My first project?
Yeah.
Sheesh, man. Well, to be honest with you, it's
what made it different than the mixtapes?
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Really approach it, like,
well, if that's the case, I would say Jersey Shore EP with Knowledge. I would put that as the first like album, because my solo thing, Truth Hurts, it wasn't like fully mixed yet even, and I could count it as an album, I think, if it was fully mixed and quality, but I'll still consider it like a mixtape because it's still a little rough on certain songs. But Jersey Shore EP, I'm coming off of leaving a previous producer I was working with that basically was supplying everything, the studio, the beats, album covers, everything, because it just got crazy. You meet some crazy people in this shit, that people that's not right in the head, and you gotta get around people that not gonna get in the way. So me and this kid Knowledge, we both stopped fucking with this producer, and I was like, yo, we should just do something. We got all these songs together, we should just do a project. So we started working on the project that ended up being Jersey Shore EP, and I was like, man, we just gotta make the project that we could start traveling, touring. We gotta make a project like every song is perfect. I don't care if we gotta do 100 takes, you feel me? This was my theory at the time, because as an artist, when you putting all this money and stuff into it, it's no different from now. It's like you want to make an impact, and every song got to hit. Everything about it got to hit. Yeah. From your point of view, it got to be the best project and the best product it could be, because what if this is the only time somebody checks you out, and there is no second chance? Like, get them like right now. And so I think also something that stayed with me through all my projects from the beginning is just like, make what the fuck you want to make. Don't think about nothing else what nobody wants. You feel me? Like, you could adapt with times and try different beats, and you should just be doing that anyway. Besides what's hot, try all different shit and be cutting edge. Like, one of my favorite groups is Outkast. Like I said, with shout out to Big Rube, and CeeLo's a big influence of mine. So that whole camp is like.
I remember being a little kid, man. My brother had a Goody Mob album. With the tree.
That's real. Still standing. Yeah, still standing.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That was powerful, and their
it was one of my brother's favorite
and their
albums.
logo was black hands and chains.
Yeah.
And Big Rube, my guy, he did. He actually made that logo.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I like telling people about Big Rube because I feel like he's kind of a lot of people don't know everything he did.
Underrated.
Yeah, so when you hear Desensitized on Release Party 2, or if you go back and listen to Final Destination with The Cause and Knowledge and featuring Big Rube, produced by Mr. Green, by the way, for anybody that knows the producer, Mr. Green. That was a big collab right there for me. But yeah, Big Rube, he's the man. He wrote some of the lyrics to the hook on I believe Southern Playalistic, or it might have been Players Ball, but one of those. He has a lot of he has a lot of unspoken history. He's their OG.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, he was like with Rico Wade and them. Like,
you want to hear some crazy shit too? I know you're in the local like Paterson. You know the scene a lot. You hear this guy Zenith Star?
Oh yeah, that's my OG. Yeah,
he's my OG too. Bro.
Yeah, he's everybody's. That's the Unk. That's the mayor of Paterson.
He's the original Z.
I don't know what happened to his Instagram, because last time I looked, I didn't see him up there no more.
Huh. I don't know. I gotta get back in touch with Z. I haven't talked to him in a while. But I love Z. Shout out to Z. Shout out to everybody over at Silk City.
Yeah, I was about to say, shout out Silk City Rich Grounds, man. I shot one of my videos there too.
Yeah, bro. Shout out to Sir Moore too. I gotta get you on the podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Joe, bro.
Yeah, fucking love. Guy just had a baby. He's fucking.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
oh man, congrats. I didn't even know that.
Such a fucking dope ass community leader, bro, for real. But yeah, no. So fucking Z. Speaking of being like the outskirts of history and shit, we were just listening to Frank Ocean was just playing. It was the Pink and White album. It was not Blonde though. So I got this documentary with Z, and I'm producing it with Ripe Studio. But it's been a while. We have to like pick it up after, but it's been on the shelf for like a little bit. But Z, you know the album Channel Orange?
Yeah, of course.
What if I told you that Z is basically like the architect of that entire album?
I think I might know about this story. It had something to do.
Or Channel, yeah.
Did it have something to do with a certain producer that Nuff was working with?
Melee.
Yeah, I know. I remember him saying something about it. Yeah.
So this is the documentary. We did the first setting was just him talking about his father and his like life in Paterson. And
Union
Ave. Giving the background of the actual story. So Z. Yeah, man. Z fucking Z was working with Melee, and you know, like he was like showing like the reference tracks that he was like giving them, and like all the communication, man. And Z basically crafted, like, you know, he didn't like produce the beats. So I mean, I guess it's like Melee's to resell or whatever. But like, you know, he's like, yo, I want like Benny and the Jets type of shit. And you're showing the tracks, and he had like the beat for Super Rich Kids before fucking like 5 years before fucking Frank Ocean had it. And then he had like this beat and this beat, and it was like he basically had like 6 of the tracks of Channel Orange before Channel Orange was even out.
And I love Frank too. I definitely know that album.
It's a crazy story.
And yeah, I didn't remember it in depth. I remember him telling me, but when he told me, I wasn't surprised, because I remember one time he did he had a like a peace rally or something, or an anti-violence rally, whatever you want to call it, at City Hall. I don't remember when this was. This was probably like 2011, 12, something like that. I just remember though, he performed this song, and the beat was the same beat as, funny enough, a Goody Mob song called Colors that was on the comeback album they did when CeeLo came back. and it was around that time. And I was like, yo, I love that Goody Mob shit you did. And Nuff was like, what Goody Mob? I ain't do no Goody Mob shit. And I was like, yeah, that color shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, somehow I explained it to him, and he was like, he was saying something about a producer. And then later, at some point, he told me about the Frank shit. Yeah. Bro, I gotta actually ask him about that, because like I said, I love Channel Orange, I love Blonde, I love Frank Ocean.
Yeah, it's crazy. So like when we were producing the album, this is like when we were producing the documentary. This is like during the pandemic, and there was the fucking. Remember when Clubhouse was huge?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? That shit. I got on Clubhouse and Just Blaze was doing a room. And I remember I just sat in the audience, just like raising my hand, and eventually I got to be a speaker in it. And when I got to be able to like actually speak to Just Blaze, I talked to Just Blaze, and I was like, "Yo, I'm like, do you know this guy Zeno? Because Just Blaze is a kind of legend, bro.
Yeah, they know each other.
Yeah, so I kind of like hit up Just Blaze, and I'm a huge Just Blaze fan, bro. I used to be like on the Megatron Don like blog. And Kanye's blog. Kanye's blog was the shit back then. Shout out to fucking Kanye University.
Word.
It was amazing. That shit was amazing. And Nah Right and Two Dope Boys. It was Kanye's blog, Just Blaze's blog. Nah Right and Two Dope Boys were like my shit back in the day. But I hit up Just Blaze and I asked him, I'm like, so I'm doing this documentary on Zenith and the relationship with this producer. And then Just Blaze, he like answered the question by not answering the question. He was like, let's just say like Z has been on when there's like, you know, new groundbreaking music, like, you know what I mean? Z's not too far off. It's like he answered it without saying anything. But yeah, man, shout out to Just Blaze, shout out to Zeno, bro.
Yeah, you get good at that with being an artist. But also because sometimes the answer to the question, you might not really have a good answer, but if you kind of like spin it in a little bit of a direct way, it kind of correlates with it. Because when I was young and you first see artist interviews, you're like, damn, he didn't really answer it. But sometimes the real answer is kind of boring, so you like try to find a good thing to say out of it. You feel me? I don't know if that, or you could just be trying to get out of what the question is.
Well, yeah, man.
But yeah, Z is that guy, man. I first met him, he used to have a radio show.
Fucking rules. He's such a character too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's rocking mink.
Oh man, his outfits is crazy.
And rollerblading, bro. He's the fucking, goat.
Shout out Zenith, man. I can't believe we never worked on nothing yet, but I've known him a long time.
I gotta tap in, bro. I miss Z. But yeah, so enough about Z, man. So tell me a little bit more about you.
Yeah, so I mean, from there, man, at some point I went back to doing my solo shit. And that's really the path I've been on for a few years. I did Release Party, the original, before I knew there was gonna be a sequel. And I just wanted to keep the series going. I'm probably gonna do a third Release Party and end off the series like that, because I got more music for that. But have you ever heard of Fatboy Sharif?
No.
He's real big on the underground right now, but he's from Jersey. He grew up in like Newark and Rahway and shit like that. But soon you'll hear his name, because now that I said it, it'll pop up somewhere.
Yeah.
He's super popping right now, doing his thing. But when I was with my group, The Cause of Knowledge, when we did them 2 albums, we had a subgroup called Strange Colors. It was Fatboy Sharif, me and Knowledge, and another artist from Rahway named 89 the Brainchild. So our shows used to be so crazy and shit. We used to be wildin', fucking jumping through the crowd. Fatboy would take his shirt off. We'll be fucking jumping all over the place. And at the same time, like, giving you real shit that we saying. So that's how I came up with the term Release Party. Like, you know, we gonna release and we gonna party. So I wanted to start this series. And Release Party 1, man, it was real successful for me, because it's the first time I really had like a lot of merch and shit like that. I had the lighters. I might could still get you one. I had the Fuck Stress Have a Release Party shirts, which I still
Fuck Stress
Have a Release Party, which I still have them on ComKingCausey.com. But I just started going in with the with a lot of stuff like that, and going back solo again after really making my name as a duo, even though it was only 2 projects, like, when you young and just coming out, that's still a long time. That's like 5-6 years. And people don't know as an independent artist how much goes into projects.
Yeah.
You know, shooting your own shit, album artwork, photo
shit.
shoots, getting around, doing shows, traveling, touring. You know, buying your own merch, getting people to buy it. It's like getting your brand out there in the current climate of social media. Like still getting a buzz, making connections, but it's a lot. So, you know, with Release Party, I feel like this is where my really musical story starts, as far as like on a bigger level. Now taking it from, you started making the buzz in Jersey and New York and the East Coast. You know, we went to Boston and Cambridge and Rhode Island and things like that. But now it's like, all right, we got to really start kicking and doing everywhere. This is when I started meeting people like Peter Rosenberg, who ended up playing 2 of my songs off Release Party too. And I'll be like politicking with Static Selector. Anybody that I could meet in the city or anywhere, you know, obviously all around Paterson and all over Jersey. Do It All from Lords of the Underground, who's the councilman of the Westwood and North right now. Grew up listening to him, like Elder Sensei, anybody that I could connect with. Big Room in Atlanta. So I remember I met Paul Wall because he did an album with
Really?
he did an album with Static Selector. So I went to meet Static. And I didn't really think much about Paul being there, but I got to speak with him, and we took pictures. And one thing about, same thing with Dungeon Family, like guys from the South, rappers from the South, you know, it's true what they say, like they're very hospitable. They're very cool with you. Because I remember somebody took a picture of me and Paul, and them shits didn't look that hot. Like the angle was crazy. Like he didn't, he didn't even. Nah, it was more me. Like I'm like, you gotta get my good side. Like he didn't even try. So I'm hoping
like the realistic frames from SpongeBob.
So I see Paul. Paul was out there for a minute in this little club in the city, or I don't even know if it was. I don't know what the fuck it was, but. And it was lit in there. It was packed, and I see him going back to the back after a minute. And I'm like, "Yo, Paul, I could get another picture with you." He was like, "Yeah." He was mad cool. He had the grills. So you never know with this music shit who you'll meet, you know, because you know going to these shows, you just run into motherfuckers and you end up talking with them. I just performed in Brooklyn, and I think it was January. I performed out there. Tragedy Gaddafi just chilling at the show. They like, "Yo, Tragedy in here." So they had dude from Bravehearts, G Wiz. He was performing on the show. I didn't even know that. The same show I was on. So I guess Tragedy Gaddafi came to check him out or whatever. And I'm just like, "Yo, Trag was good." He was by the pool table. But the first dude I met like that when I was 20 was Elder Sensei. When I was in the Armory, I was performing. And I'm meeting a lot of the guys, seeing who's who on the underground, which to me, they're like fucking 40 years old, but they probably were just like late 20s, early 30s, but I'm like 19, 20. So everyone seemed way older, and they all super nice in these shows I'm starting out in, thank God. Because there was a couple first ones that wasn't that good. People was on some like generic shit. I came up in the underground shows like for real. I'm thinking everybody is signed with a deal. And I remember this, I get off stage and I go outside. There's a couple dudes out there. This dude is like, "Yo, you was mad nice, whatever." I'm like, "Good looks." He asked me for a bogey because I used to smoke cigarettes back then. So I'm like, "Yo, I hope you ain't just tell me that to get a bogey off me." And I see his boy laughing, and it's Elder Sensei. And he was right there, but I didn't even see him. And then I see him, he tall and shit too. I'm like, "Oh shit." And like I'm green. I never met nobody famous. So to me, like, I had the Artifacts albums, I had the Elder Sensei albums, and I'm like, yo, like Crowd Pleaser was my shit. That was one of the first songs that Illmind did before anybody knew him. Crowd Pleaser with Elder Sensei. And I was just like, and I remember my boy, he was real.
Geeking out.
Right. And I remember my boy, he was real hood. So I was trying to explain to him who that was. And he's like, "Man, you acting like you just met Jim Jones or something." Because this when everybody fuck with Dipset.
He's better than Jim Jones.
I think I might have told him that. Because I came up like real underground and like old school. I studied all the shit. And I just wanted to know the best out of everything in rap. And I'm like, "Yo, bro, like you don't understand. This is that dude and shit like that." And in my remix I remixed the Wait For You Future shit.
Yeah.
And I called it the Cause Mix, but at the end I shouted out Tame because I met Tame as well.
Yeah.
When I was coming up doing them collaborative projects with Knowledge early on, we had a song called Carnival Nightmares. It was some bugged out shit. And I seen Tame around, but I never really spoke to him. And at this event, he came up to me. Now, mind you, I'm still a youngin', and I'm from Jersey. I grew up listening to all the Jersey rappers because they made me feel like, damn, I could make it. You feel me? And this before Fetty Wap, it wasn't really too many. A lot of people was from Essex County, but that shit ain't matter to me. Like,
it's a whole different world over there.
Yeah. You feel me? Like we
I remember back in the day, I would like try to scope out Paterson rappers. There was like, I think it was like Carlito or some shit. There was one guy.
King Son was like the earliest one that I know of. Well, there was a dude named Cool D that had like, I'm gonna tell you this crazy shit. One day, my boy, we bought a BP. Anybody that's from Paterson, you know.
The BP is Beirut, bro.
You know about the
Beirut
BP on
in
Broadway.
the 70s, bro.
So my boy, my boy that I always used to be with for years, he lived on Pearl Street right there. So we used to go get the raps or whatever, and at the BP, and he's like, yo, I'm about to introduce you to this dude. I see a crackhead. I'm like, yo, I don't understand why you. I reacted like any other person, like I don't get what's going on. Right? Why you introducing me to a crackhead? And he's like, yo, this dude used to rap, and I'm thinking it's bullshit, but I looked up the song. It was Cool D and the Ultimate MCs, and it was real old school, like 80s.
Oh, wow.
You know, he was telling me about things like when the Cold Crush Brothers battle. He was from that era originally, and but it's funny because if you listen to that song, everybody sounds real like old school, like how they sounded, but he was the only one that sounded like a little gully. And I always remembered it was him because he's like, I'm from Paterson, I'm from Jersey, baby doll, yeah, Paterson. And he was like more hood with it. Yeah. And you know, I asked him like, you know, about King Son and guys like that, because when I first heard of King Son, it was on the Nas song Where Are They Now, when he did Hip Hop Is Dead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I know hip hop and I don't even know a lot of these guys that he's saying. So me being the student I am.
Where Are They Now? That guy is on Where Are They Now?
No, I mean Nas, he had a song called Where Are They Now? Yeah. King Son, King Son was on there. And I remember I looked him up, and he reminded me of Rakim, and I didn't really think much about it. They said he was from the Bronx, so I didn't think much about it. And from time to time, I don't know, like I'm the type, you know, like shit'll find its way back to you. I might see his video on YouTube and click back on it, and I'll be seeing shit in the comments that was like, yo, I went to Eastside with him. I went to Eastside with him in whatever year, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck are they talking about? This guy's from New York. Yeah. And so I was always curious about it because I started realizing, okay, he had some connection to Paterson.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what it was. And my another OG, Twilight, Light the MC, if you never heard of him, I gotta put you on, but he's from the same era as Enough, like they grew up together.
Yeah.
And I asked him first, like, yo, did King Son, he was from Paterson and moved to the Bronx, or because then I would see shit like Bronx was his adopted home. I just had to know because we don't really got nobody out here.
Yeah.
So I was so curious, like, what's the truth? And my OG Light, he told me like, nah, like back then people used to have to rep New York because he came out in like the late 80s.
Yeah.
So that was
to rep New York at that point.
There's people that they claim like they were really from Jersey, but back then it wasn't cool to be from Jersey. Everything was New York. Yeah. This is before anything else was cool. And but yeah, that guy Cool D, I asked him about it, and he was telling me things or whatever. I asked him about Just Blaze, but I think he got on drugs before that because he ain't know what I was talking about. He said the only thing I know about that is that song with Usher that goes Just Blaze. I'm like, yeah, that's Just Blaze. He produced it. And I remember when Fetty Wap came out and Paterson was on fire just because of Wap and Remy Boys, Just Blaze, he was looking for people, but I don't think nothing ever came out of it. But I remember that because Just Blaze, he gets put a lot with New York because of Rockefeller. But you know, if you really, if you tapped in, it's not like he doesn't. He doesn't. I don't think he shies away from the Jersey shit because I've seen him talk about it. Yeah. I've heard him talk about Paterson.
Don Bosco though, bro. So I'm actually, he's been a bro. He's in the music scene, but he's a heavy ass DJ.
Yeah.
But fucking man, Just Blaze. I don't think he was like in the street shit at all, man. He was always just like a fucking music head, bro. Maybe he was just fucking around with an ASR 10 when he was like 14 years old, bro.
Well, I know he worked with a lot of guys like the Outsiders and Artifacts. Yeah. I remember him posting about Tame when Tame passed as well. Yeah. So I don't know, but even back in the days when
somebody told me that he had a studio in his building at one point, but I think it's wrong.
Oh wow!
Jersey Blaze studio, but it's not just.
I remember that. That was like when I was in high school.
Yeah,
Jersey Blaze. That's when I first heard about this building.
Yeah, this building's a strange building, but a lot of people have a lot of memories here. The third floor was a boxing gym for a very.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. My boy Brandon Murphy, he's into the boxing thing, and he told me about it.
Shout out to Kendall.
Ooh, word.
I gotta get him on the podcast.
Oh hell
he's
yeah!
Got an awesome fucking story.
Hell yeah!
I mean, it's a crazy story, but you know, like, bro, he's like totally. Does a lot of community service and shit. Man, he's fucking redeeming himself.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. Any positive influence is good. Anybody that's dope. But yeah, man. And then you know, like I said, as far as my journey now, like I put out Release Party 2. I feel like it's my best body of music. I just been doing my best to just stay as consistent as I can. When I met Peter Rosenberg, I had the first Release Party out, and I got to the point where I didn't think he was gonna play nothing of mine, and I sent him Release Party 2, certain songs from it, Kids on the Journey or KOJ with Sean Gotti, my boy 100 Grand, who's from out here as well. He played that and Desensitized with Big Rube. So this is before the album's even out. Rosenberg is playing songs off it, and I'm not even thinking he's even fucking with my shit like that. And also, KOJ was produced by Nick Wiz. This is a guy from like the Lyricist Lounge era. He produced for like Cellar Dwellers, Shabam Sadiq. He's known for like a lot of guys like this, and he's from Jersey as well. I wanted to work with him since I was coming into the game, so I finally got a chance to do that, which was real big for me. So with Release Party 2, man, it's just a big statement, you know. Like I said earlier, I wanted to shoot a video for every song. Yeah. I got bonus footage as well for the Juke Guy visual that's coming out, because we shot so much damn footage like all over the fucking place. But yeah, man, I'm in a good space, and you know, there's so many stories I could tell about my musical journey, but just to start off touching base with kind of like my projects and my career, you know, there's other stuff in there between the group and the solo stuff. Like before I did Release Party, I told you I was recording with Fusion and them, and that's when they had Real Point Podcast, R.I.P. Bebe, my dude.
Bro.
Shout out Derek.
Yeah, bro, I've been trying to get Derek on the show for so long, bro.
Yeah,
I saw him at the Hinch. I didn't see him at the Hinchcliffe thing, but he's a very, very shout out to Derek, bro. Fucking
yeah, for real.
He very big supporter of my photos and shit. He's always just like shouting me out.
Yeah, cool dude.
I'm like, word, bro. And that positive shit, man. We have such a beautiful community, bro.
Exactly.
Like, and just all the Paterson, bro. It's a really supportive fucking like ecosystem. Where like,
word.
Shout out to Marv too, man. Marv puts bad people on too. Marv talked to you really, really heavy too before, because I was just there. I was like, all right, I got a podcast, and I was like, who you got on, bro?
Yeah.
That's my Marv impression.
You told him I was coming on?
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah. It's like I still gotta release it, bro.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them clips because I fuck with Marvin. His shit look dope as hell.
Marv really is the king of podcasts.
And I met him around that time too, because he was on the island by downtown.
Wait, who,
I don't know if you remember. Well, all of us, yeah. but Marvin was in a different room, like a couple rooms down. Yeah. That's when I first met him and shit. But Real Point was going. I did the Real Point podcast, the intro to their podcast.
Yeah.
The little rap part, that was me doing
Really?
it.
Oh,
it's
shit.
the Real Point podcast with Derek and BB.
Yo,
Tuning
bring
in
it
now because I'm scared of the TV. They just told me like, yo, just do whatever. So I just laid some shit for them and they fucked with it.
Yeah.
They fucked with it so much when they did a contest.
Yeah.
To replace the song after a couple years, they couldn't even replace it because the shit was like, it just fit so much. They couldn't find nothing that was better. So, you know, I got a special point with, you know. But I was going to say I used to record there at Fusion Studio because they had a recording studio. I think it was DJ Kep, I think was his name, that had the place before Fusion. So the studio was just left in there. This is by downtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is like by Memorial Drive. There's like a little island. Like before you cross over by the towers, there's like a little island. It's like a little I guess you would call it commercial industry type of area. Yeah. I never knew this shit existed, and it's right in our playing site, but I just feel like nobody will really think about it.
Before the towers?
Yeah. But it's like, it's like right before if you, around there. Yeah, it's right across the street. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's across from the. Yeah, it's across from there. You'll see like buses parked there. When you walk in it on that.
Yeah. Where
there's a little bridge
where the geese have completely taken over that entire like section. Bro.
Yeah, there's a little bridge there you could drive over, and that's where we called it Building 3 because it was literally Building 3. And I had a project I did there called Throwback Thursdays, which was just me doing instrumentals and shit. Like I did Electric Relaxation, I did Doomsday.
Oh, that's dope.
I don't know if you know Lori Love. She know a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
She sang on there because, you know,
Wait, Lori Love
yeah, she was singing at that time because I told Fusion, like I said, he was trying to do a label. It was short lived, but I kind of did the project through him. Like he was getting this Cat Beam to mix it. He mixed most of the project. Saga mixed some of it, and my boy Luch, I think he recorded one. He mixed one song, but it was going through Fusion. I was just recording because he knew I was going through a lot of shit with leaving like former people I was fucking with, going back on my own shit. So Fusion was helping me out with this project, and I told him I need a girl to sing the singing part that, you know, like Doom has on Doomsday, but I'm gonna change it to "Can Feel You Causey" instead of "Feel You MC." Yeah. And he found her, or he knew her, or something like that. I don't think they met before. Maybe they had a mutual friend, but so he said, "Yo, like I'm gonna get her to come through," and she sang on it. And I had an All Falls Down freestyle. I had an Aquemini freestyle.
Can we pull up any of this? Is any of this on YouTube?
It's on that Piff. But I don't think.
Oh god damn it!
I think that Piff got fucked up now.
Second time that Piff came up today. I was talking about Marvin with it earlier today.
It's a synchronicity right now.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we were talking about it today. He's like, you just didn't make it up, bro.
Yo,
I
but
gotta my Marvin impression.
But you remember people.
I got my Jason Enrique. I gotta work on it. I don't know, man.
But you remember people was saying that Piff. They said it was like, you know, like it was a dub, like you couldn't use it no more. But then that Piff was like, no, we're still here. But I can't find my project. It's still there, but I can't find my project, and it was there all these years. So I might have to upload it to YouTube.
Cried when fucking the Best of Jadakiss album.
I bet, bro.
Best of Jadakiss album. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Best of Jadakiss by DJ Diggs is better than Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Man.
And that's how it is in the hood. This Paterson, the Locks and Jada, Styles, Chic.
Oh yeah,
they're hood favorites
right by
out
Bravo
here.
Supermarket, bro. Every single night, 7 nights a week, bro. 7 nights a week.
Listen, if you from Paterson and you get people it could be that era, it could be my era, it could be, man, everybody Locks, DMX, like
Jadakiss is top 5 dead or alive, and it's not an understatement.
Man,
it's actually it's just a fact.
And they both, mostly Styles and Jada, they influenced my style a lot because
really big Jadakiss.
And I'm gonna tell you, and now you'll probably be able to put it together.
Never seen a Brinks truck follow a hearse, bro.
I didn't even mean to do that. Jada's that guy.
He is, bro.
I mean, before I was like Kanye and Common, I was like Banks and Jada. Like those was my favorite rappers.
Why Banks?
And 50.
A lot of people told me that Lloyd Banks is very underrated.
Well, I didn't stay.
I just remember On Fire. You know, Fire.
Yeah. Nah, well that was a single. You could tell they wanted it, and I like that song too, but Banks was known for he's known for spitting. That's what he's known for. So at that time, it was like dudes like Jada, Banks. They was just like some of the best rappers. So that's why I fucked with them. Like Banks having lines like "Don't make me send a beast at you," and the way they rhyme too. Yeah. Not just the punchline, but "Don't make me send a beast at you," and have your man walking around with another "Rest in Peace" tattoo. Little cream puff, you could get killed here. Pussy, you ain't invincible. Even Superman in a wheelchair. To a young mind, it's like when I first heard Big L pun. It's like I feel like at a young age, you're not really necessarily ready to hear about. I love Brent too, but you might not be.
I love this guy too, man. He's growing on me like a mother.
Yeah, I love Brent. Just make some more. Don't get off these hoes and talk about other shit, cause your music is amazing. We need to hear you talk about other shit though.
Nah, he's fucking wonderful, bro. All the production and everything for it. But even though what was the first song? I forgot. It's not even a single. It's not even on any album. I forgot what the fuck it was. Man. I gotta check it out.
I guess you know what it is. You know what, Brent? You ain't gotta change nothing. It's just that I'm not really like toxic no more. I'm not toxic no more, bro. So you know, certain shit I'm gonna be like, it's like a letdown. Like you feel like you see.
God damn it.
Like you feeling like a psychologist. Like damn, you still fucked up in the game. Like come on, bro. Like. It's like, you know, when you grow and then your favorite artist kind of stays where they at and you like, damn, you kind of feel bad for them.
I feel like that's happened a lot with Wu-Tang, man. And I love Wu-Tang. I love Wu-Tang like a motherfucker. But I feel like, not all of them, but like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's like, they end up, except for like Ghost.
Yeah, I love
Ray
Ghost.
evolves a lot, but like, has Jizza put anything out in like years?
Man, I don't know. I think it's been a while.
Yeah.
It might not have been that long though.
I was telling Marv my Raekwon story earlier. Apparently, what did he say? I forgot who the fuck it was. Nah, it was Marv said he recorded Raekwon at the Art Factory at one point. And fucking, I was telling him about my Raekwon story. I got this funny fucking story, and we'll share it on the shit.
Okay.
Fucking, so back in the day, I used to work at Sheridan Lincoln Harbor in Weehawken.
Okay.
Right, and I was a waiter, and I'm there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm folding napkins, and Nori is at the bar.
Shout out Nori.
Shout out to Nori. Been to strip clubs with Nori. His cousin, he had a weird ass family reunion because he found out that his cousin was the taxi driver in front of Sheridan.
Wow,
yeah,
that's hilarious.
He lived next door. He lived in the Riverview Towers.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where the fuck he lives now, but I think his podcast, I think he probably moved since then. And he's making mad money off of fucking Revolt.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so fucking...
Shout out to them.
So Nori's at the bar. This is like 2011, 2012. Fucking Nori's at the bar. And I'm sitting there, and he's with somebody, and I'm like, looking at the dude, I'm like, who the fuck is this shit? So, my roommate's the bartender. That's my shout out to Marlon. So I go to Marlon, and I'm like, yo, Marlon, like, who's the guy Nori's with right now? And he's like, is that like Beanie Siegel? And he's like, yeah. I think it says something about Philly. I think it's Beanie Siegel. So I'm like, oh shit, fucking Beanie Siegel's here, bro. So I'm waiting. They come out from like smoking a bogue or a blunt or whatever from outside, and they come back in. And so I go up, and Beanie Siegel's like sitting there alone, right? So I go up to him, and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm a big fan, bro. And he's like, oh, thank you, bro, thank you so much. And he's like, I'm like, yo, when's the new shit coming out? And he's like, oh, bro, he's like, I'm working on it now, you know what I mean? It should be out by maybe like the fall or some shit. I'm like, where, bro? I'm like, yo, do you need any like beat? At the time, I was making beats. I actually have an album like on YouTube with just beats.
Oh, word.
Yeah, fucking. But I haven't done it in a long, long time. I was a big Logic 9 fan, but after they updated, I just phased mine. I like making music live. After I got the SP404, I was just like, I don't want to use the DAW ever again. I hate being in front of the computer. So I go up to him like, yo, do you need any beats? And he's like, yeah, bro, let me take your number down. And this guy takes my number down. And I'm like, oh, wow, holy shit, bro. I'm like, yo, The Truth is like such a great album.
Word.
And he's like, no, I was like, I love The Truth. And he's like, thank you, bro. He's like, thank you. He's like, I appreciate it. I'm like, word. I'm like, word, bro. I'm like, so I thought I confirmed it was Beanie Siegel when I said, The Truth.
Oh, Lord.
I was like, wow, bro. I was like, yo.
I think I know where this is going.
Beanie Siegel, bro. And this guy looks at him and he's like, no, you didn't. And then Nori hears it and he's like, ah. And I was like, and I'm like, what? I'm getting like nervous and shit. I'm like, what? What's wrong? And he's like, motherfucker, I'm Raekwon. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I don't even have any other albums. I have every Raekwon album.
Oh shit!
I only know The Truth by Beanie Siegel and shit. Fucking. Damn,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but then I was really embarrassed. And then I was like fucking 20 years old. I went in the back. I'm like, yo, I just dissed Raekwon the chef, and the fucking he cooks his shit, bro.
Damn.
That shit was fun. And then later I interned for Ty Fife.
I heard of that name before.
Shout out to he produced a lot for Jay-Z. He was a big Dipset producer. Ooh, I love this song. Fucking he produced for Jay-Z and fucking like 50 Cent, a bunch of fucking heads. But I interned for him, and then like later Raekwon came to the studio. And thank God he didn't recognize me. Right?
Thank God.
It was just an in and out type of thing. But yeah, it was
I heard about. I think.
It's my Raekwon story.
Wow, that's crazy. I think he recorded with Sha Boogs too at So Amazing before.
Oh yeah.
I feel like somebody recorded him there.
Yeah, my one of my closest friends, my buddy Paul Bueno. Shout out Bueno. Fucking that's his brother-in-law.
Sha Boogs?
Yeah.
Oh, word? Yeah,
He's
Sha.
management now too.
Yeah, Sha has mixed most of my projects.
Really?
He mixed the Discovery album and he mixed Release Party 1 and 2.
Really?
Yeah, so all my most major projects so far.
Huh.
Yeah, I fucks with Sha heavy. I shot my song Soul Jams at So Amazing.
Yeah.
I shot that there. Yeah, me and Sha, we've been cooking. We got more music dropping soon and stuff like that. And, it's sad about Fetty and everything, but that was always an influence. Being in that studio, seeing the plaques.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if you from Paterson, you can't not like Fetty, because when he first came out,
you proud, bro. Everybody was proud.
But I was one of the ones that didn't think I was gonna like his music. It just didn't seem like something that. I don't know what I thought about it. It just didn't. I think I just judged it as it was gonna be something I wasn't gonna be into. Yeah. And I remember the first two things. It was one thing, then something else that cemented it. One day I'm high. I have no clue why I put the radio on. I don't remember why. Trap Queen was on.
Yeah.
I'm like, and when you high, if something is groovy, you just gonna fuck with it. You don't. Yeah. That's the ultimate test to see if something's dope. Like, I don't want to think about, because look, thinking about if something's dope is fucking stupid. This is music. You gotta feel it. I don't care. Like, I just seen Rock Marcy talking about how people wasn't fucking with his shit at first because he was like the first dude without drums and like simplistic beats. Like me, man, I don't care if I heard it before. If not, that's even better if you doing something totally original. And WAP, he was original. And so I heard Trap Queen and I'm like, yo, this is dope, because I seen him say this in the interview, but you could already tell he knew like who he was. He wasn't trying to be like no lyrical rapper. Yeah. He wasn't trying to be on that wave. He was on some hooks, bro. Yeah, he was on some new shit.
Fucking feed it to the whole family.
And then this was the other thing that cemented it. Sir Moore, he invited me to Eastside Park one day. He was going to shoot a video, which he didn't end up shooting it. I think it was the African American parade or festival. And so me and my boy Murphy, and I think the Eye of a Genius might have been with us. I don't know if you ever heard of him. They both from Paterson. Brandon Murphy, the Eye of a Genius. both dope artists. But they played My Way. I think it was before Drake got on it. It was the Monty version, which I fuck with Monty on that shit. They be trying to play him, and that was his song. And WAP tried to really stand by that too, so I respect it. But I'm seeing, we at Eastside Park, I'm seeing grandmas, little kids, everybody fucking with this shit, and the shit just some dope shit. Like the shit is groovy. And yeah, I remember my one friend, he was real like super underground, and he was like getting mad at us. We like, bro, this shit dope. Like, you missing out. Like, cause my thing is like, I don't think you should restrict music in any way. If you don't like it, then you shouldn't listen to it if you don't like it. But, you know, I never was that into like labels. You know, that's why when you said the conscious rapper thing, I don't really mind that, because that's what a lot of guys was called that I grew up looking up to, like Kweli, Common. But you know, a lot of other labels, not so much. People used to try to put me as like an underground rapper. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the type of shows I was doing, or I think it was just because I could just actually rap. And I'm like, man, I'm like Dre 3000 or Lupe. Like, you feel me? Like, you could just be a great fucking artist and a great rapper. It don't have to be two different things. People used to think that. I don't think they think it as much now. But I'm like, man, my shit is just dope. Like I said, I grew up hearing Outkast, Kanye. It's just about dope music and stuff like that. So, but what I was going to tell you before about Jada and Styles, like I said, they a hood favorite. Jersey love them, Paterson love them, and
Dipset too, man. Dipset has
of course.
With the Dip Shack over here, bro.
Oh yeah, nah.
That was like,
Dipset is huge out here for people that's tuned in from other places or just other cities in Jersey. But we used to smoke weed, and I listen to people play Lock so much, and I would just listen to Styles and Jada specifically because I felt like the way that they did the double syllable thing, I related more to that. Sheik just kind of like in your face, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna smack you. You know, he was more abrasive, but they rhyme with like the double syllables. Shout out Sheik. But I used to be high. When I was high, I understood it more because I'm like, okay, they lyrical, but they using their voice the way
comic book heroes.
They was always in the pocket with their flows. Like when you smoke and you listen to them, they never not in the pocket. So like, even though my shit would grow to be like a little bit more conscious than they shit, with Styles, he's kind of like a conscious rapper too, low key. People don't talk enough about Styles' poetry and the deep music that he's made through the years, because it's not all hard shit. But yeah, I kind of learned how to flow from the Locks, I would say. Like, me listening to them and the way they put their rhymes together. And it's because when you see, like I said, they the favorite out here. When you see people, like, okay, if they fuck with this and you young learning how to do this shit, and you like, all right, let me try to see what people like about them so much. Like, a hard-ass bar. But I'ma deal with my enemy sooner, cause I got him looking for my solo album like Kennedy Jr. You see everybody, the dudes that bang and sell dope is going into this shit, like, and the regular motherfuckers that just like rap.
Working music, bro.
Yeah, like
Jadakiss is fucking really.
That's why they
You're not chilling when you're listening. I mean, you could be chilling when listening to Jadakiss.
Yeah.
But mostly, if you're listening to Jadakiss, bro, you're like, fucking, you about to give us some work.
Well, really, that's why they get so much acclaim, because you could just be a hip hop head, you could just fuck with hip hop, you could go to school, work, whatever.
Bro, better than the Beatles.
But at the same time, they the street Beatles.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
they are.
Cause I'm gonna tell you this: when I would get into like a little battle or something, or like if dudes just got into a cipher, cause I don't know what happened, but dudes that hustle, they used to be sometimes better rappers than the real rappers. Dudes wouldn't even be in the studio; they'll really be selling crack or whatever they selling. But you get into a cipher with them, they could really rhyme. Like, and I would be like young, like 19, getting in ciphers, and like my boy was more like connected with the streets. I used to be shy and shit, and he'll be like, "Man, get in this shit!" Like, or even when I first started doing shows, like them underground shows I told you about in Newark, and they'll have ciphers in the beginning. And now I'm like 20. These dudes is all older. I'm like, man, I'm performing, you know, I don't gotta get in the cypher. My boy would like push me into the cypher. I came up with dudes like that even though you'll be pissed at them, it will kind of you'll be exposed to more shit because you feel me, like, yo, you playing with this girl, like it fucking literally push you with shit to fucking make a move. But when I would be on some more, like, I wouldn't even say common shit, but like I might rhyme some shit like some little brother type shit. Yeah. They wasn't fucking with that. I remember I did a battle and I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm drunk out here on Park Ave and straight. That's where my boys used to be at. I'm like,
it's by the Checkers, bro.
By the liquor store across the street.
You're going to hood, baby.
Yeah, I was, and everybody that knows me knows I smoke, but I was, for some reason, when I was young on them battles, I guess because I used to drink more, that's why I was drinking. So I'm off like, I don't know, I think Remy or Paulie or some shit.
Bro, you're going on hood.
Real hood shit.
No, I'm serious, bro. You're going on hood famous.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marv. We secured a camera guy this week.
And
so
I'm
going to Checkers, bro.
So I randomly.
I'm serious, dude.
Hey, my people's be around there.
I know.
Shout out to my boy Trayvon, Davi, all of them. But so dude is way older than me and shit. It will always be older guys, probably because I had an older soul, so somehow that would manifest in that way and shit. Yeah. And no, actually, at first I spit a written, and it was more like a little bit more like backpack consciousy. Yeah. And I remember this dude was standing there, and like he was saying, for the people that don't know, this the hood. And dude is like, yo, it wasn't even no punchlines in this shit. And now my brain's starting to panic. I'm like, bro, you about to have to come off the dome. So I just start coming off the dome. Yeah. and the dude was older than me and he got me a little bit, but at the end I told him, I was like, yo, keep it 100. You was spitting writtens? And he said, yeah. And I'm like, all right, then to me I won. Because even if it's
you were off the dome.
Yeah. And I remember my boy big brother who like ran that block, he was mad at me because he was like, yo, what the fuck, you started talking about his mom? Yo, his brother just died. You see? And I knew his brother too. His brother was a dude that I would get around in ciphers around there and shit. But he was active, but he was mad smart. He was one of them dudes that you could tell, like, damn, if he would have came up another way, he could have did something else. Like he said he always got good grades in school, but he just was doing what he had to do or whatever.
It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
So you know where Ripe Studios is, right?
Yeah, bro. That's what I was gonna say. You gotta meet you know my brother fucking Moses and Cheney.
I don't know, maybe.
I used to get in tune.
I know Euro.
Oh, Euro was
hilarious. I performed there.
Oh, you at
yeah. I got footage on my YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Zeitoun was DJing that night too.
I think it was the first one. That was like before the pandemic.
Yeah, I wasn't. Mine was like 2020. Yeah, before the pandemic. Yeah, February, because it was around my birthday.
The first Trill night. I did the second Trill night with Sounds. Shout out to Sounds.
Man, I might have met you before because I was there.
Possibly. When Conscious performed. I got back from Cali, like I think the end of 2020 or the end of 2020 into 2021, and I got into and I started hanging out with Shane. Shout out, bro. The Ripe Studio is such a wonderful place, too.
Well, look, bringing it back to the young battle shit, right? Yeah. Before there was even a Ripe Studio, you know the block that it's on.
Yeah.
I got into a battle. I was like 19. I battled a 33-year-old. He's the age I am now. Yeah. You feel me? Like, so I'm with two of my boys, and we had this younger homie. So he went across the street to this party, and we older, so we just stayed across the street by the car. We drinking and shit. This dude came outside. He was like, yo, who rapping out here? So like I said, I was like, I knew I was nice, but like I had to learn to come out my shell. But my boys they ain't give a fuck. My boy like, yo, he rap. I'm like, fuck, in my head and shit. But you know, you can't show that. And he's like, oh yeah? He's like, all right, I'm about to bring my man out here. It was a dude named Gaddafi. I heard he live on Garfield Ave now. He was 33 years old, I'm 19.
my boy Gaddafi.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you straight up, no lie. This freestyle shit is really divine shit because I don't even know how I was doing it. That's before I smoked weed. I wasn't tapped in with nothing spiritual. I'm off the Svedka. You feel me? Like, I'm on some light liquor getting fucked up. And I'm not ready for this. I'm not a freestyle dude, but I'm a real MC. Like, I grew up in this shit. You feel me? I've been rapping. Like I said, I wrote my first verse when I was 8. Like, I grew up studying this shit. So I'm just like, in my heart, I'm like, you gotta do it. Like, so he comes out and shit. Yo, we battled. We went like 3-4 rounds. I remember it got so heated because we started. It didn't get that disrespectful. Because I feel like in a battle, certain shit is going to get thrown out because it's off the top and you got to just come out the guy. You're going to have thick skin because it's a battle. But I remember when the girl whose party it was across the street, she left her party because they was outside in the backyard. She left and came across the street like, oh my God, are you guys going to fight? And we looked at each other because we was like getting like face to face.
Sweating, looking like a Gatorade commercial. Yo.
Mind you, I'm not a freestyle artist. I'm not a battle rapper. I just was a real MC and I felt like I didn't do enough yet to feel like I'm just gonna be. That's how shit got. Like, after my generation, dudes would be like, I don't want to do that. I didn't feel like I had the privilege to say, nah, I don't want to battle, or I don't battle. I'm a damn rapper. So it was still that era, like, yo, you gotta go in and yo. I remember we looked at each other, we looked back at the girl, I was like, nah, we good, we just battling. But even though he was older, like, I was torching him. And I knew that because everybody on his block was fucking with me. It's his block. Yeah. I used to chill on River Street by 6th Ave for mad years. And we, like I said, I really think we drove, but you could walk there. You know how close it is. And I didn't expect none of this shit to happen. Like, never been on that block in my life. That's why it was dope when they put Ripe Studios there, because I always remember East 12th, right? Yeah. I'm like, East 12th by the 5th Ave bar. That's how I always remember. Like, I had this surprise battle. At the end, my boy was like, yo, Calls. He's like, yo, you the best out here. Like, I felt good as hell. I'm talking about people that was from his block or either lived with him. They like, oh, let me sign you. Oh, the dude came up to, it was a girl that said that, by the way. It was some shorty. She's like, oh, let me sign you. Everybody going in between my bars. I'm cooking and I don't even know how. This shit is like some divine shit, freestyling. And then at the end, his mans was like, yo, you could come back here anytime. Like, I don't know what's good with my mans. Usually, like, he's more on point than that. But like, yo, you killed it. It was like a real live, like that other battle. It was like some small hood shit. It was dope. It was a good experience. This was like some movie shit. Everyone was outside. Everybody came outside.
And a tank top with a new ball, you know?
And I knew I got him because then out of nowhere this younger kid came in and started to like cipher, and I'm like, yo, we battling. And dude was like, let him rock, yo. And so I knew, like, oh, I ate him, because why the fuck he's letting this shit become a cipher, like. But anyway, that was a great experience.
Everybody come on in.
He's like, woo, get on. He's like, there's more rappers out here. Nah, but. And like I said, I'm young. Like, my dudes is telling me, like, yo, you that guy. Like, it felt good. This is before my music was taking off like that. And so when they put Ripe Studios there, I always remember that was my first memory there and shit. And another thing that they changed was right on that same street, but on the next block, they used to have something on the wall. My boy Richie showed it to me. He's like, yo, look at this. It used to be a painting on the wall. They painted over it now, but I'm looking, like, I see dudes on horses. I'm like, black cowboys? He's like, yo, you know the song Buffalo Soldiers? I'm like, yeah, Bob Marley. He was like, yo, this is what that song was about. And I'm like, what? So when he connected it with that, right away he had me interested to know what he was talking about. And he was showing the black cowboy soldiers that was in, I think it was like World War II or some shit. I can't remember. But it was a war, and one of the, I'm going to just say like the lieutenant or some shit, he was from Paterson. And when he showed me it, I felt like you know, we were still young at that time, but I was like, I wasn't even caring about the shit. But when he put it to me in a way that I could relate to it, and then I seen that it was Paterson history, I remember on my old group page, I put it up. It's still up there on the Cause and Knowledge page because that shit is dope. These are, I always said, people focus so much on bullshit and toxic shit, and there's so much beautiful shit that came out of here.
It's the beauty. That's the purpose of the Patersonian, bro. Is to humanize that shit. There's just a lot of fucking. There's a lot of pride in the city. There's a lot of fucked up shit. But there's a lot of, like, there's the history of the city. Everybody knows the history. Like, a lot of people know the history. And a lot of people can appreciate the buildings and all this shit. But it's like, you know, it's just like, there's rampant fucking drugs. And there's, you know, there's a lot of murders and shit. I mean, like, I feel like we're on the path of progress. It's just, it takes a long fucking time. And it takes everybody to be on board. But the difference between progress and gentrification is a very, very fine line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, you know, man, it's I don't know, man. I love it even in its grit. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like it's like seeing a flower come from the concrete. Not to just rip fucking Tupac, but, you know, it really is like that, man. And I like seeing, you know, because it's all this clash of cultures and shit. Like you were saying, like, you know, the Buffalo Soldier guys are from the Jamaican community, Dominicans, Peruvians, Arabs, Jews, fucking name it, bro. Puerto Ricans, fucking, I don't know, man.
Mexicans.
Italians.
There's still some Italians.
Yeah, still some Italians.
I got a line on this Big Jersey song that we were talking about getting Fetty Wap on that, but obviously now, you know, that might not happen unless they got some vocals, you know, that they could throw on there.
I went to Fetty Wap's house when I was growing weed in California, and I hit up like everybody I knew because I just had a bunch of weed, fucking like I get invited. I gotta get Brain on this fucking part. I get invited to Fetty Wap's place. I know Brain Films. He's like,
oh yeah, I shot a video with him. Really? Shout out to Brain Films.
Apparently we're sharing the same office building at this point. Fucking.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Fucking. So Brain brings me down because he's a cousin of one of my closest friends from 8th grade. I used to do graffiti with this guy, shop in Nando. Fucking brings me down. I go and I pull up to Fetty. I've been living in the woods for like 2 years at this point, bro. Fucking straight, like, you know what I mean, Moss Oakley, fucking, you know what I mean, boot wearing motherfucker. I pull up to Fetty Wap's house. He lives in Beverly Hills, bro. And
I'm thinking you're talking about out here now. It just hit
Los
me.
Angeles. He's in
Okay.
Hills. I pull up to the crib, bro, and it's nuts. I'm like showing, you know, I'm like, it was just like. It was a really surreal experience, bro. But it's weird to see, like, I watched Netflix had this show called Dropping Cash, and it just basically, like, followed. And Fetty Wap was one of the episodes, and then, like, you know, when he was buying, like, paintings and shit, just, you know, dropping mad cash on, like, random shit. It's just, like, a heavy splurge ass show. Man, it's just, like, weird because, like, coming from the woods and heading there is, like, the first time I've seen civilization. A long time. And then
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no water, no electricity, bro. Like, I've just been growing with it.
What?
You have to, like, rig shit up.
Damn.
Yeah, but it was cool. But
that's
you
different.
head over there, and Paterson, like, still, like, got me. You know what I mean? It was like home. They were like 3,000 miles away from home. But I felt like I was home. You know I'm with, like, people who made it. You know what I mean? Like, he made it out. And, like,
that's gotta be a crazy feeling.
It's a crazy feeling, bro. Like going there. And like walking in, it's like, you know, it's like this really, it's panoramic view of the city and shit. He ended up, I feel like he lost the place in like a couple months after. This is like when he was releasing the Bruce Wayne mixtape.
Okay.
Yeah, like around that time. And fucking, yeah, bro, it was nuts. Then you know, I fucking went back to NorCal. There was a whole shit. But it's just like, you know, there's places like, there's ways of getting out of this shit. It's like getting out of this shit, but still kind of staying home. Like, he never really did leave home. Like, it was at like fucking Jay's fish spot, like the fish, Jay's fish gate up the block the other day, like, or like a couple months back when he was like out of parole. I was like, oh shit, he's in Montgomery Street right now.
Yeah, I remember that. I actually remember that when he was over there. Yeah, man.
Nuts, bro. But yeah, it's crazy, and it's crazy. I was actually just telling Alex the story. So a couple months after that shit, I was watching porn, and fucking, I'm scrolling through this shit, and I'm like, I recognize that painting. What the fuck? And this chick is just getting like fucking like fucked, and I'm like, yo, I know that kitchen. Where the fuck? And it was Fetty Wap's house, and I'm like, damn, yo, this chick's getting fucked in the ass, bro. I was eating eggs. I was like, ah. It was
Wow.
like the fucking first time. It's like 3 months post fucking.
That's a crazy synchronicity right there.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's a. Man, free WAP though, man. I hope that he just stays away from shit when he gets out. Hopefully
I think it was him, bro. I think it was just like he like probably like funded some.
Yeah, of course, yeah, but
I don't know. Those might not get hit with the Rico. That Rico charge, man.
And I like the butterfly effect. I feel like they got him to be kind of what people wanted from him. Like, yo, people want melody. They want you to do like the Fetty Wap singing shit, but get like a little deeper on them too. Cause I felt like back when he did the Wake Up record, I thought he was gonna start getting more personal, and then it didn't really happen. I feel like until he did the Butterfly Effect, he started talking a little bit more about like things that was going on, and think about his daughter. Some bad situations too, but he was just keeping it real about his life and stuff like that. It's sad, man. Yeah, the thing about Fetty was always that even when, like, before I knew much about him, when I would just see him in an interview, man, he just seems like any Paterson kid that you would know. Like, he just seems like a cool dude. Like, you could relate to him, and he's a likable guy. Like, he never tried too hard to be like tough. He'll do interviews laughing and smiling and just talking, just being himself. And not for nothing, even that debut album, I like almost every song on there. It might be like one song that I skip, and that's saying it's a lot of songs on his debut album. Fetty Wap debut album is just a bunch of damn catchy ass songs. It's a bunch of jams that you just put on if you want to feel good or just hear some dope shit.
He's not trying to be like fucking J. Cole. You know what I mean?
And I seen him do an interview with Drewski, which I seen Drewski at Fetty Wap's Thanksgiving.
Where's Drewski from? He's like has a crazy presence over here too.
Yeah, well he works for Hot 97.
Oh, okay.
But he has the Movement in Elizabeth.
Really?
It's like a space where you could perform. I performed there once years ago. His girl was holding it down. I think her name is Sky. I think they was Drew. I think they.
Bro, you've been fucking around, dog.
Yeah, I have. I think they might have been on Love and Hip Hop. I think because I remember somebody already knowing her name and shit. Like somehow she was known. They might have been on like Love and Hip Hop at one point. But I first met Drewski in Atlanta when I first went to yeah, bro. That's why I'm saying like probably like a year from now my name is gonna be like fucking out of here. I've been doing a lot of shit, bro. So
This is crazy.
you're gonna look back like a year from now and we still gonna be doing interviews. Don't get it fucked up.
No.
But like a year from now you're gonna be like, damn, I remember Calls came on, he was just like a regular dope dude and he started just saying things and I realized this motherfucker
Honestly,
he plugged in.
Normally I like kind of cap out the interview with like an hour. Well, I'm not like capping it now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like normally I cap it out in like an hour. I still want to hear more. It's like
How long has it been
like
already?
$1.22 right now. But
Oh,
it's
word?
good. No, but I'm just saying keep going, bro. I fucking want to hear more of this shit.
Yeah, man. So I had linked. I had sent Big Rube a song, and it was on the Discovery album. So this is the Cause and Knowledge. It was me and another artist, like I was talking about earlier, and Mr. Green produced it. DJ Priority from Paterson, he did some scratches on it. So it was really like a big moment with all these people coming together on one song. So me and Knowledge and a lot of people we fucked with, we went out to Atlanta to shoot the visual. And Mr. Green was also in Atlanta, which for those that don't know, he's from Jersey, but he was also out there because it was the A3C festival, and we wanted to go touch that too. We seen Pete Rock out there. DJ Drewski was out there in Cypher Sounds. So I met Drewski at that point, I don't think I seen them until recently when they had the Fetty Wap Thanksgiving giveaway right there by Mill Street. And they did a good job because I'm really thinking WAP is like out for a little bit or some shit. Like the way they was doing it.
The Nino Brown shit.
I remember I seen Shot Bugs, like, so you feel me, we hug, and I'm like, yo, like, where's WAP at? He's like, he not here. I'm like, why not? I see Monty, I see Kevin Lyles, Jamal Hall was there, DJ S. Dot, couple other people I met, and he's like, I felt dumb as hell, because I'm like, where he at? He's like, he locked up. I'm like, damn, what about that new song, the Yam shit? He's like, yo, we did that shit like a minute ago. And I'm like, damn, you feel me? So I was just networking with like whoever I could and just making the most out of the moment. But yeah, DJ Drewski, he just appeared. I don't know where he came from, cause DJ S. Dot, that's WAP's DJ. Yeah. He was holding it down for a minute, and then I just turned and I seen Drewski, and I'm like, oh, what's good, da da da. And he mad humble, cause I told him, like, I didn't tell him this part, but besides Voila, he's like, you know, like after Voila, he's like that New Jersey DJ. But I realized that's just him. I told him, like, how does it feel to be like the number one DJ holding down Jersey? He's like, man, I don't even think about it. And I'm like, man, that's just him. He not even trying to get no credit, but he really is. Like, I seen him interview my boy Kaimo from Passaic. I don't know if you heard of him, but he's dope as well. We got a song called Ghost of Raekwon. And yeah, you might have heard of Kaimo. He's like, he's doing it right now from Passaic. And you know, Drewski obviously interviewed WAP a bunch of times, and he always plays Jersey artists. DJ Walla, but Drewski,
my buddy Sabi.
Yeah, they're both like from these past generations, like the Jersey DJs, especially both being on High 97. So I always wanted to tap in with Drewski. Hopefully, we'll do an interview one day too. Cause I just see him as a real representative for Jersey. He's one of them guys too, like, from this newer generation, along with WAP and like some other people, to come out and really, you know, be a good example for Jersey and really like do their thing. So shout out to Drewski, the movement. It was a dope space as well. I think they got multiple floors there, but I was just where people perform and shit like that. But yeah, that shit was dope right there in Elizabeth. Yeah, Jersey, man. I call Jersey New Jupiter. The reason why I came up with New Jupiter was because back in the days, and you still hear like Wyclef say it sometimes, but we had New Jerusalem. Marvin actually keeps that alive, and I told Marvin I fuck with that because the New Jerusalem shit, and that actually originally was a 5%er thing, but it kind of turned into like a hip hop thing, and you know, people would say it, and you know, we had Dirty Jersey, we had certain things.
Literally, we live with the poet laureate of Jersey City. And there's a slam poetry group called New Jerusalem. Yeah,
there's a lot of more. It came back now. I seen even isn't there somebody here that does something like that?
What?
Like some New Jerusalem shit, or somebody from Paterson, I think. Or maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. You were mentioning Wyclef, bro. One of my closest friends is actually he's not one of my closest friends. I'm cool with Ray Duplessis. He's like,
oh, that's his family. That's Wyclef family, right?
Yeah. And GLPA.
I know like Jerry Wonder, and I know the name, like you said,
Yeah, when we were like little kids, we used to fucking.
Is that in Montclair?
I hang out with Ray, but I hang out with Ray like once every like fucking 4 or 5 years.
That's in Montclair, right? That's the Booger Basement, or that's something else?
Booger Basement, I think, was in
It was in East Orange originally when Wyclef had it, but
and now he's in Caldwell.
Oh, okay. Because I know they had something.
Was, when we were kids, my little cousins are from fucking North Caldwell.
Oh, okay.
Them, bro. My little cousins. Like,
isn't that where they shot Sopranos or West Caldwell? Maybe.
We used to play in that fucking yard, bro.
Oh wow. I still never went up there, but
bro.
I think
my most viewed story.
Who the fuck was up there? Fusion or Marvin? Somebody was up there. Not in the last couple of years. I can't remember who it was. Might have been Fusion, but Yeah, man. I forgot who we was even talking about. I'm trying to remember what the fuck.
So, bro,
I feel like there was another point there, but I forgot what we was.
What's next on the plate for you, bro?
Man, just keep doing my thing, man. I just want to travel more now. I got the music, so I'm just doing my best to like get it out there to as much people. I know if Peter Rosenberg fucked with it, I know that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Ready to rock, bro.
Yeah, man. Man, I forgot what the fuck we was talking about. But it might have just been that I met Drewski. But I know I was telling you I was gonna get WAP on this song because I had this song. It's a Big Jersey record.
Yeah.
I remade basically my own version of Can't Forget New Jersey from Queen Latifah, which people would know from the New Jersey Drive movie.
Yeah.
I always wanted to remake it like since I was like 19 because I worked with a producer that basically just remade the beat.
Yeah.
And I just loved it so much because I always been like a big Jersey rapper, you feel me? And following the footsteps of those legends that came before me that put on for us like Redman and everybody else. So long story short, Shy Boogs and Says Beats, they produced this beat for me. And I already had the verses because originally it was a different beat. But the studio was so crazy, we ended up making a whole new version right there. And I was telling them like, yo, I want WAP on this shit. And they were going to play it for them, but everything ended up happening with the legal shit, unfortunately. You know, but you know, you never know what could happen, man. You know, I mentioned WAP on it. I mentioned Lauryn Hill. I mentioned SZA because a lot of people don't even know she's from Jersey, and she's been like one of the biggest artists.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I seen her perform when she was coming out when she had that Z album, and she performed at Rutgers in Newark. And she was like, I grew up like 10 minutes from here, and she was showing love. Even recently, I seen at Madison Square Garden, she was talking about, you know, huh?
Shake.
Oh yeah, we got Shake. Shake's another one for right now. Coil Ray got super fucking
I
hot.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lana Del Rey, North Bergen legend. Nah, I'm just fucking.
I was gonna say, is she from Jersey?
I just live in North Bergen.
Yeah, Coil Ray, she lived a lot of places, but she's like known more from Hackensack. She performed out here. She performed out here and did some things out here on her come up, but her come up was like a year. She did so, cause she had a team from the beginning. So after like a year, she didn't have to do no Jersey shit no more. She started popping. It wasn't like it is now, but now she's fucking out of here. Her shit was like the #1 shit on TikTok. Well, shout out to everybody in Jersey, man. There's a lot of other people coming up. And also just speaking on Paterson, like the things we were talking about like people that's artistic and positive, I would always find like the different artists than a lot of people that, you know, there's a lot of people that people will fuck with, and it's a lot of dope artists, but I would always find like the alternative people. Like if you listen to Nyambi J, she's on 2 songs on Release Party 2. Sean Gotti, I got in there with him. I got him to do some whole other shit where he's doing like some singing background hippie shit on KOJ. My boy 100 Grand, I got him to sing the hooks that I wrote on KOJ and Soul Jams, and he always had a great voice and he could rap. The Eye of a Genius, I found him when he was 19. He was hitting me up talking about he wrote a song about Genesis, who, for those that don't know, the little girl that was like 12 and she got killed on Rosa Parks Boulevard. It was years ago. It was super sad. And I'm like, yo, this kid is writing songs about that. Like, I gotta fuck with him.
Yeah.
And so my boy Tiggs, the Eye of a Genius, he's on Release Party 2 and Release Party 1. And he has a beat that's probably gonna be on Release Party 3, so he'll be on the only person on the whole trilogy.
So when are we looking at the release of Release Party 3?
Oh man, I'm probably about like 75% done with it, so you know it shouldn't be too long. I'm the type, man, I don't like to rush music at all, but I'm getting better at staying consistent enough in a time frame to get a little faster with it. I'll never put out something ahead of its time, but at the same time, I've been learning how to do. It's a couple projects that I got too in the works, but yeah, I mean I always was consistent, but I guess just learning how to prioritize to get it done even faster.
Yeah.
And cause I'm real spiritual. I'm like, it's gonna get done at the right time.
Yeah.
But you know, there's still ways where you could learn, because the climate of music right now is fast, and people are dropping things all the time. And you know, whether it's a song or two or a project and another project, like we were talking about Griselda earlier, their catalog is crazy. They always dropping shit. So I got some really good songs, man.
I'm learning that a lot as an artist recently, but that's kind of why I don't keep any of my stuff. Like I've been learning that from I actually learned that from comedians. George Carlin would get rid of his stand-up special every single time, and then Louis C.K. would take it.
One of my favorites.
He would take his special, and he would he'd do his stand-up for maybe a year, or whatever, polish the act, and he'd do the special, and then after the special came, he can't use any of the material ever. I use that with my photos. My photos, you'll never see me do a repost. I'll never repost the story. I'll the worst I'll do is I'll print, if it's I'll print it in a Paterson ENT, but so far, but I don't ever the work is the work of that day. I consider being an artist it's a lot like being a fisherman, where it's you don't go on the boat, think I'm gonna catch 8 fish today or 2 fish today, or this is gonna be the big fish or this is gonna be the small fish. You go and you do the work. If you do the work will do the rest.
Exactly.
It becomes a process of just maintaining a habit. It's like working. It's like going to the gym. You know what I mean? I go and I take my photos, or I take or I try to come up with a concept, or I write for film.
Do you ask people yo, can I take your picture, or do you usually just?
Oh, bro, most of them are just steals.
Okay.
If I did it,
because I see sometimes they're looking at the camera, so I was curious.
I don't it's very. I don't normally ask them. I mean, maybe I'm fucking myself up with that, but I'm just if you do ask them, bro, they. That's why I don't actually have a camera on this thing. You're like I said, you're the rare exception, and the card I think is full. But
yeah, we probably went over.
It just went from red to white over there. You're
okay,
a
so we just
exception that I actually put camera on this because. When the camera is on people, bro, people start to perform. All right, I just did this film. I had to act. I do acting classes. Right?
Well, that's why when you told me the philosophy of the show, I kind of eased into that.
Yeah, I like.
And I was we just gonna talk, have a conversation.
It's
well, I guess that's kind of how I am anyway. But
No, I know you need the visual concept.
Yeah.
A lot of people are yo, you should make it visual. But the problem is bro, not the problem. One, it makes it a little bit harder to edit, and it makes it it's one. I like bringing people in and hearing their story. But also, if people are fucking if there's a camera here, we now are performers.
Yeah.
We're not performing when we're talking right now. This is very,
especially
very
depends.
Fourth wall right now.
It depends on the person too. It depends how used to they are having the camera in front of them. Because if you're not, you're definitely gonna be performing.
Bro, yeah.
But if you're used to doing interviews,
and my voters. It's fucking, you know what I mean? But we had the last one. I have to edit her to shit too. But she is running for senator, bro, and she was just talking about she didn't and normal people would be well, I am fucking running for senator, and I am doing this. She was talking about how she had to administer Narcan to this person who fucking took so much fentanyl, that a mix of cocaine and heroin. She had to administer Narcan to them in a parking lot.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But she's running for office. But you know what? I would rather. If I was voting for somebody who was going for a public office, I would want them to be in tune with that shit. But if it's somebody's sitting there in front of a goddamn camera, they're trying to pull some bullshit rhetoric.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather I want to feel the real person. I don't want to see a performer. Not necessarily as a performer, but it's but when people are real, bro, and people are in their natural state. That's why I love my photos. When my photos are, I don't want anybody to perform, because you're just beautiful just the way you are. Just seeing the guy opening the door on the 7-Eleven, man. Guys are fucking.
Yeah, you be getting real intimate pictures.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's dope
Wait for
because
it, bro. I love it.
it stood out to me right away because it's Paterson. Nobody's doing that. So when
Wes, my boy Wes does that a lot. Wes is doing it right now. Finish Photo Villainy, motherfucker, if you're listening, bro. Because I want him to be my cinematographer so bad. He's got such a great eye. Shout out to Stills by Christian too. Stills is he's a great like studio photographer. He fucking like
what's his
really
name?
knows how to craft. He works for Ripe Studio a lot too.
Oh, okay. Who is this?
Stills is an amazing.
Stills? Okay, word.
And shout out to Simple Gun, you know. It's the fucking.
I had a ball too performing at Ripe Studios when I was there. I did
family, bro. I love those motherfuckers.
Yeah, Zeitoun, like I said, was DJing.
I'm not as much as I should, but like I just don't want to make goddamn time anymore. We had to delay this like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but man, this is fun, man. I like how it's just organic as it should be. It's not no bullshit conversation. It's just you just let it flow. You could touch on anything you want to touch on.
So who are you voting for this year? I'm fucking with you, man. So what do you think about Jeffrey Epstein fucking those kids?
That reminded me of the old Dave Chappelle bit where he goes, he's like, man, why are you asking me about my politics? So anyway, I was fucking my wife in the ass last night. He said that's the one thing people don't want to talk about. I love comedians too. Louis is up there with Chappelle for me. He's one of my favorites.
Bro, his fucking show is the shit. The show Louis is.
I remember one time I was at Silk City Lab and I told him I watched every episode of Louis, and Saga was like, "Yo, you bugged out for real." Because there would be moments where, even in his stand-up, same thing. There will be moments that are like so bugged out, but everything's so brilliant that you like, all right, we'll just get past it. Like, and he said he does comedy like that, where he's like, all right, we'll get past it together. We'll find a joke in it or whatever. Yeah. Nah, Louis is one of the goats, man.
Live recently.
What?
Yeah, bro, he's good. He's like my hero as a film director. The thing is, bro, what I love about his shit is that he's like a real filmmaker, but not in like the sense of like, he makes a lot of films. Like, he's a real filmmaker because like it's not a lot of like, it's not a bunch of fluff. It's like fucking like, it's him like an actor. Like, you can see the camera setup. You know what I mean? And he's just a great writer, and he just makes his things. It's not like he works for Paramount and there's like 100 million fucking people in his trailers and shit. It's just a guy who wants to make cinema, and then he goes and he performs stand-up, and the stand-up, like, he makes art. Like, he performs art to be able to make art, and then when they give him a budget, he makes like the most beautiful series of like all time. And it's not
I gotta rewatch that, man.
It's not a crazy series. Like, you see the shots in Louis, it's not some crazy fucking Avengers.
Yeah, it feels
shit.
Relatable.
Yeah, it's like real shit.
Yeah.
And then everybody started doing it. Atlanta came out after that shit. Fucking like, I don't even know what's going on right now. The Bear, like all that shit. All that shit got put on Louis. And Louis didn't have a fucking crazy budget, and it was like, it was real shit, bro. It was the fucking Louis is an amazing film, and his films are great too. He's got one film that's like 40 seconds, and it's a 40-second fucking film, and it's one of the best stories, not the best stories of all time, but I love it because like, this is before TikTok and before all everybody's minds were fucking molded to like enjoy these short videos and get the ads. Fucking Louis, it's called Ice Cream. You ever check
40 seconds?
40 seconds, but it's one of the best films I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of films. I've seen a lot.
I like Louis, so I'll check it out.
I studied the shit out of Scorsese. And,
that's that dude.
And like fucking Indian cinema and French cinema. I'm very well versed in cinema.
Word.
40 seconds, Louis C.K. It's on his YouTube channel. It's called Ice Cream, and it starts it off, and the title is just Ice Cream, and then it's just a shot of this little kid, and he's just eating ice cream, and then this camera starts to zoom back, and then Louis comes into the shot, and then he goes and he like fucking goes and he grabs the little kid's ice cream, and he starts eating it and running away, and the little kid's like fucking confused, and then Louis like jumps into a helicopter, and then the helicopter like fucking goes into the distance, and it's the greatest film I've ever seen.
That's some shit Louis would do. I gotta check that out.
Yo, it's hilarious. Bro.
I seen the 4th of July shit.
Oh,
that's
really?
what it was called.
Check that shit out.
I just wish Louis was in it more. That's all I could ask for.
Yeah.
It was good, but it was mostly John List, I think was his name.
Yo, Joe List. Yeah.
Joe List, yeah. He was good too. Nick DiPaolo's in it, but maybe somebody else I can't remember too. But
he's fucking awesome too because he fucking like as an artist, bro, he's able to actually be an independent artist. Like Louis, like one, I went to his show. The show was sold the fuck out.
Yeah.
He jerk off on anybody.
Yeah.
Jerk off on me. Fucking he sells all his tickets. He like owns his mailing list. Right, and then like for the show, like he all 5 seasons, $35. So he owns it,
yeah. You gotta you gotta go on his damn site and get the special, but it's always cheap.
Yeah, it's $5.
He definitely don't overcharge, especially in the day where like people have concert tickets that are like $1,000 and all this crazy
like
shit.
$20. I think I paid like $40-50.
I never had a problem getting a stand up from Louis.
Yeah,
you just go in there,
$5, and you're giving it to the dude, and then like he's like also like
Louis a genius. He's brilliant with I will say I wish that he did a little bit more like what Aziz Ansari did and took a little bit. I think he took ownership of what he did in the thing he wrote, and when I read what he wrote, I fucked with it. It felt sincere, but I feel like by the time he came back with stand up, he probably just wanted to be so far past it that he kind of like made light of it real quick and moved on. Yeah. And some of the stuff was funny too, but
Aziz Ansari shit.
Yeah, and Aziz did something way less bad than Louis. And he knew like, all right, I gotta like be apologetic, and he probably really felt that way. It seemed sincere as well, and I think Louis is a good dude. I think hey man, comedians are weird, and there's a lot weirder shit people could do, but I feel like that was the only thing is I think as brilliant as he is, maybe that was the only thing that kind of was missing from his comeback was a little bit more like sincerity in his act with that, because I think the first stand-up, I don't even know if he touched on it, or that might have been when he came out and he's like, how was everyone's year? Did anyone else get in immense loads of trouble? And then I think it wasn't until the next one that he had the sorry lit up behind him. And because this is what I was telling people, and this is real comedy shit. Everybody knows when it comes to comedy, it's just a different art form. And I was like, yo, not for nothing, you got all these guys like Harvey Weinstein, they did all this horrible shit. Louis, he out here masturbating, he on some different shit. I'm like, yo, literally, bro.
I like Dave Chappelle's shit on it. With Dave Chappelle,
oh, I remember,
He's like, this is a brittle spirit. He's like a fucking. Like,
Louis C.K. jerked off on the phone.
Yeah, he's like if Martin Luther King was like, oh, I can't fucking.
Oh yeah.
He's like this motherfucker pulled out his dick.
And
I can't free the black people. Like this is hilarious.
He said that's a brittle spirit.
It's a brittle spirit.
He said, bitch, hang up the phone.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, man, I think that's the only thing, man, because he still has some of the best jokes. Yeah. I mean, not for nothing, Chris Rock is another one of my guys, or Chappelle, all those guys are up there for me. Yeah. Not every guy is like, it's like a song. Not a song might be great, but you might not be like, yo, Doom said this, or Andre 3000 said this. Like, you remember because it was so crazy. Like with Louis shit, I'll really watch the shit and remember like bits and like say them to people. And if I really fuck with your comedy, I'm watching your stand-up at least 2-3 times. Because if great stand-ups like that don't come around every day. I seen all the Chappelle shits. You feel me?
Timeless. Chappelle show's timeless, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I was fighting for that shit.
Yeah, I love Chappelle.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, where can we find you on social media, bro?
At King Causey, pretty much on everything. ComKingCausey.com, YouTube.com/The Cause. Or just search me on streaming. Put the Cause Release Party or the Cause Release Party 2. You know, you'll find me from there. Because apparently there's like some rock band with my name. So I gotta get more stained with the DSP. I gotta murder them. I gotta get more stained with the DSPs and get, you know, I don't know how it is for people, but it looks like it's getting like jumbled up. That's why I say put the Cause Release Party.
There is one more Matthew Zeitoun on the internet, but it's like an 8-year-old in Montreal. And,
oh wow!
I know I gotta kill him one day, bro. But I
That's
got
the only way.
I got all the social media handles, bitch.
Oh, that's gotta feel good.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You can keep your little league ass Google SEO, but I'm gonna find you, motherfucker.
That's the only way. That's the only way to deal with it. You gotta kill him. But nah, that's gotta feel good, because I see, you know, girls are different from guys. I don't know why, and I don't know if you or any listener has seen this. Girls follow girls with the same name as them. I don't know. I guess they like, fuck it. It's 3 of us. We all got similar handles. We could all be cool. She say Brittany. She say Brittany 2. She say Brittany _. And I'm like, man, y'all really, I gotta applaud y'all. Y'all got no egos, because you already know, even back in the days with AIM, when we was kids, you come up with a screen name, somebody got it, you mad as hell. You get on Instagram, you put your handle, they like already taken. You like, fuck. And certain names, you gotta have it a certain way, or now you gotta think of some whole other shit. But shout out to the women, man, because apparently y'all support each other. Because I seen that with 2 different chicks, and I'm like, yo, did they purposely see that they had the same name and chose the positive route? Like, yo, fuck it, we all got the same, say Brittany, but we all gonna be cool.
Oh my God. Yo, Calm Kid Causey, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
The Afternoon FM. Stay beautiful, people.